What's going on YouTube? Cloverbells here back with another Scarlet Violet video, and today we're heading back into the Showdown Team Builder to take a look at Hisuian Samurott for the regulationH format. So, again, Baltimore has come and gone. Now we have updated meta results. We're in the middle of the global challenge, of course, and Hisuian Samurott has a niche within this meta, and we're going to take a look at what exactly can we use this for, because right now the premier water type is obviously Primarina. Again, the water fairy typing is quite strong. You have Haze for the Dondozo stuff. You have Moonblast for the dragons that are running around. And then again, you just have a strong water type stab in general, right? So that people are looking for other options in terms of water types that they can put on their team. And we're going to show you a couple of sets that you can do with Hisuian Samurott. But water dark typing is always interesting. You have Greninja, which people are starting to also use because for that dark typing overall. Again, anytime you're a dark type means you're going to have at least a somewhat of a positive matchup into the size spam idea, because they can't click Expanding Forest because you're a dark type, you don't take any damage. Then at the same time, you have good strong water damage. So like Greninja is also within the realms of having Haze, just like Primarina. So that's also why people are using that. Now Samurott cannot give you that. So you're gonna have to find another use for that, and we do. So we have Sharpness here, and again, you're gonna have a 1.5 boost to all your slicing moves. So look at your signature Ceaseless Edge. So, just make sure you hit it. Now, again, 90% accuracy, but you get to set some hazards on the fields, right? So, and that's also what makes Glamour like pretty good, besides the poison stuff, is that you can set some hazards a little bit. Now, again, this is VGC, not singles, so you don't really get too much value out of hazards because there's not as much coming in and out. But at the same time, you do have a super effective dark move that you can have that will set hazards, which is still pretty good. You can break Sash that way and still deal some decent chip damage. Oh, I almost couldn't say that with the Ceaseless Edge, again with the Sharpness. And then you have Sacred Sword, right? So another good strong fighting move that can ignore stat changes. So this is also pretty good into Archaludon if it has too many defenses, for the body press stuff, so you can always just go for that. It's great into Kingambit. It's great into the Terra Steel Gholdengos. And then at the same time, don't forget, your Ceaseless Edge can also hit Gholdengo for great damage. Can also hit Dragapult too. So you have some good value out of this. And again, water dark typing, you're not going to take as much damage from steel types. You're not going to take that much damage from ghost types. So you can kind of sit in front of the standard Gholdengo and not really care too much. And Gholdengo, with top 3 usage right now, that's very, very good, all things considered, right? So this is also where you have to kind of watch out for their Choice Specs Thunderbolt idea. But again, you do have the open team sheets available to you in most cases if you are playing in the tournament. So just be aware of that. Then your last move here will be, just be your standard Aqua Cutter, your other stab move here. So again, decently... decent damage. You can always boost this up with something like Scope Lens and just go for more crit stuff. So I have seen this set too, but because of the weakness to the rise in fighting types, a lot of people are just going with the Sash set right now, and that makes a lot of sense too. And then you just consider Rillaboom, just clicking Grassy Glide and potentially one-shotting you, because again, you don't have too much bulk here. You're not paper, but Rillaboom is that good. So this is also another reason why people are going with their Sash set. And then the Terra Poison, most popular Terra type right now, because again, you get to resist the fighting type weakness, and then at the same time also for the fairy type weakness overall, right? And then neutralize the grass stuff. So Poison Terra, really, really good. And then your last slot here is just simple Protect, and then you just go like a standard 252-252 set. And the one advantage here, again, is that you're 1 point faster than Gholdengo. So if you want to go Adamant or Jolly, you'll always be able to outspeed it because you are naturally 1 point higher than it. So, which is actually kind of funny, all things considered. Another kind of set that you can have is this Choice Scarf set. I know we did see this at Baltimore from Brendan Zhang. And, one proposed EV spread that you could do is just to try and outspeed Dragapult. So go for 144 speed investment. And then just hit it with a Ceaseless Edge and then, continue from there. And then just dump the rest into your bulk stats like this. Then the other thing, and then of course, flip turn, just potentially pivot in and out. If you do get intimidated, you can do that. But again, this speed tier is just meant for Dragapult. Then after that, you can also go with the Clear Amulet set if you don't want to get intimidated. So you can still go Adamant and go a little bit slower. You can just outspeed something like Modest Pelipper. You can also outspeed the Blood Moon or Solunas for that matter, and outspeed the Rillabooms that want to outspeed them. So that's also where 118 is actually not too bad. And then it turns out that 148 HP investment along with 4 defense, that will let you live Adamant 252 Grassy Glide from a Rillaboom anyway, so that's pretty good. And then just dump the rest here into special defense. So this is another idea that you can do. So I gave you 3 potential sets, technically 4 if you want to use the Scope Lens idea. But ideally, again, it's going to have a niche role on some of your Fire, Water, Grass teams. So if you're going to remove Primarina, you're going to need something else that's going to give you Haze, or maybe use Clear Smog on your Amoongus, because you do need the buff removal from Dondozo stuff. So it's very important. But anyway, let's take a look at a couple of teams that have used Hisuian Samurott, and then we'll just go with our own idea, and then we'll take a look at some test games. All right, so let's head into the LabMouse website. Let's take a look at some teams thus far with Hisuian Samurott with some success. So let's look at Joe Gambit over here. Oh, another Joe. A couple tournament winning teams, actually. So let's look at this one first. So we see a couple of ideas. Again, the Tailwind from Whimsicott, obviously, it's pretty good. It's going to make your Samurott fast. Again, Gholdengo also definitely appreciates the Tailwind idea. And then you just have Rillaboom and Arcanine here. So Fire, Water, Grass Core makes sense. And then you have the Blood Moon Ursaluna, which also does well under the Tailwind stuff. So you can definitely use something like this if you want to just, play like a hyper-offensive Tailwind team. So this definitely works. Aqua Cutter, Ceaseless Edge, Sacred Sword, Terra Poison. Yep, that's the set. And then everything else looks pretty standard. So that's okay. How about this one? From, I don't know if I'm going to say that right, Yuke. Okay, so we have, again, the Tailwind idea with Blood Moon, but look at this. It's just like Talonflame, Gholdengo, Amoongus core with the Samurott here instead of something like a Primarina. And then you have a Dragonite here, which is pretty cool, with E-Speed, Terra Blast, Terra Fly, and then Ice Spinner. Okay, so actually a lot of this is standard, but you do have Ursaluna here along with the Samurott instead of something like Prim, so that's something to consider, but no Haze user, no Clear Smog idea, so I think that might have to come and change ideally. But at the same time, you can always just like Will-O-Wisp the Dondozo, but it does get a little bit tricky, so I think I would make that change if I had to like recreate something like this. Then we go into Brendan's team, from Baltimore, and he's doing stuff with Sneasler here, so it's a Sash Sneasler. Samurott has the Choice Scarf, so maybe he does have the 144 speed stat for the Dragapult idea. There's the Flip Turn. There's Razor Shell too. Oh, okay. Razor Shell, Night Slash, Sacred Sword. So no hazards here. And, that's fine because at least these moves are going to hit for that matter. And then you have Eject Button Pelipper. This is pretty cool. So no Tailwind on this, but there's the Clear Smog Amoongus, and I kind of like that. So we may have to also do that if we do use Amoongus. And then you have Electro Web here with the Electabuzz. So pretty standard stuff. Again, another Gholdengo idea. Gholdengo's just so good. Then we go into something like this. Then we see Vivillon here, all right, with the Sash Friend Guard concept. Then you have Glamora setting standard hazards here. Also setting hazards here with the Samurott Expert Belt. This is a team. Okay, this is pretty cool. Then you have Yuki's team. Okay, so we have Samurott, Talonflame, Gholdengo, Garchomp. I like that idea, actually. And then you have Gardevoir here with the Fairy type here with Telepathy. So you can click Earthquake next to Gardevoir and the Talonflame. So that's pretty cool. And then there's a Rotomoe here. I don't know about this one. I feel like I just want to put Amoongus on this, right? Like, tell me that doesn't work. Like, Talonflame, Amoongus, Gholdengo, Garchomp, the Samurott. And then you can have something like the Gardevoir here. Or you can even have something like the Dragonite here in that sense, right? So I kind of like that. So instead of like maybe Blood Moon, we could put Garchomp here. And just put like Clear Smog on this Amoongus and, have this double dragon idea with Dragonite AV set. Otherwise, you can definitely do something like this with the Gardevoir and just have that Dragon Fairy Steel idea with the Fire, Water, Grass. I think that also kind of makes sense. And then you get Trick Room here, which is pretty cool. And then, Dazzling Gleam Psychic here. So, you get some Fairy usage out of Gardevoir and then you just put in Amoongus. So now I know what we're going to do here. So let's go back into the team builder. Let's build our Hisuian Samurott team using those core ideas. Okay, so we're gonna go off of that Talonflame Gholdengo core. So here we go. So Talonflame here, Gholdengo along with Amoongus. I think this makes a lot of sense. And then just add Garchomp here. I think Garchomp is quite strong right now. So I kind of like, just going with this Fire, Water, Grass core with Talonflame, Amoongus, and the Hisuian Samurott, and then just have Garchomp here be a nice solid physical attacker. And then from here, again, we'll just add either the Gardevoir or the Dragonite. I think either way makes a lot of sense. But if you do go the Gardevoir, I do like that Trick Room set. So I'll put that over here. And again, you're going to have like Telepathy. So this also works if you want to do something like this. Again, 125 special attack is pretty solid. But if not, then you can definitely consider Dragonite. And again, it's just a natural flying type. Again, that just doesn't really care about your Earthquake because, you know, you can just do that next to it. But at the same time, we'll go with Rough Skin here. I think that's fine. But in terms of our Talonflame set, obviously we're going to go Gale Wings. And then we'll just go with Covert Cloak. The pretty standard set, right? You know, just Tailwind, Brave Bird, Nuke, Will-O-Wisp, and Taunt Talonflame is so good. Especially like non-Prankster Taunt, where you just don't really care about priority ideas. And then you can go Terra Ghost here. You can go Terra Grass. I think both are very good right now. So either way works. Garchomp, of course, we'll just go with the Life Orb set. I like Life Orb. Okay, I kind of really want the damage. If you get Intimidated, it's not really the end of the world. It's all solely fine. There's not as much running around. There's Instant is still dropping in usage, but still very good overall. But anyway, Earthquake, Stomping Tantrum, Dragon Claw, and then just Protect. I put Dragon Breath. Yeah, there we go. There's the Dragon Claw. And you can go Terra Steel here for the Fairy Resist, also the Ice weakness at the same time. It's not too much ice running around. The Amoongus, so like we mentioned, we'll go with the Clear Smog set. So again, Rage Powder, Spore, Clear Smog, and Pollen Puff. So you do have to give up Protect at the same time, but again, you know, it's one of those players like, okay, yeah, I do have to do it. You could go Terra Psychic, that's also fine. You could also go Terra Fairy too, you know, just redirecting Dragon type attacks away from both your Dragonite and your Garchomp. So that's also okay. You can definitely do either one. I think they're both solid. You can also do like Terra Water stuff still if you want. But there's so many Amoongus Terras that you can choose. I'll just keep it as Fairy for now. Then the Samurott here, like we mentioned, that's also already done. The Gholdengo, so you could do like the Choice Specs, but I also like Setup here. So we have the Amoongus, so I'm just going to go the Metal Coat idea and then just go with the Nasty Plot stuff. So Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, Nasty Plot, and then Protect. So you can get a lot of value out of Nasty Plot with Gholdengo. You don't always have to go for like the Choice Spec stuff. And then, you know, Dragonite here with the Assault Vest. I do like this standard set with, you know, with Extreme Speed, Ice Spinner, okay? And then at the same time, you have options from here, but I don't want to go Outrage on an AV set, but I will still go Terra Blast, Terra Flying. I will still do that, okay? And then this last move here, I kind of want some coverage into the water types, believe it or not. So I think Thunder Punch is going to come on the Dragonite set. And this is also going to help against the Terra Water ideas, you know, from Annihilate or from Amoongus for that matter. So that's also nice. But having that Thunder Punch idea, you know, into the Primarina is also going to help a little bit. So I'm just going to settle for that. And Thunder Punch AV Dragonite has been used in prior formats. So we'll do us some favors and we'll bring it back here. But this is it. This is the squad with Samurott. I think it's going to work relatively well because we have a lot of standard stuff here. Just in terms of EVs, we can just do this. Max speed with 444. Again, just having the most value out of this Talonflame as possible. Jolly Set. Chomp, same thing. You know, I can optimize this for Life Orb chip damage. So what you can do is just bring this up to about 189 and then just put the rest here into the attack stat. Okay, you can definitely do something. Oh, what happened here? Yeah, there we go. You can definitely do something like this. This is okay. But at the same time, you know, I just want like more value on my Chomp. So you don't have to optimize here. You can just do this and this is still like okay. The Amoongus. So, you know, just having the idea to survive the Talonflame stuff, you know, with the nuke, the Brave Bird stuff is important. So I'm just going to go like a Relax Nature here. And yeah, just do it like this. So about 244 here. And just a ton of bulk overall, right? You can do something like this. And just put there and then just dump the rest here in Special Defense. So, you know, you can go to the bump here, but I'm going to extend it a little bit and just put this much. I like 188 investment. That's good. And then the Gholdengo here. So I like to go some bulk here on this Gholdengo, especially with Tailwind already. So I'm going to go just Modest Nature, but I'm still going to do the Dragapult Speedster. So I'm just going to go to 107 here. And I literally did this. I went to about 198 investment and then just honestly just put 1 point here, 1 point there. I put as much HP as I could. I put about 192 just for like Rillaboom grassy terrain stuff. And then after that, I just dumped the rest into special defense like this, and then that was it, right? If you want a little bit more speed, you can definitely put a little bit more speed into your Gholdengo, but I wanted a little bit more bulk, which I kind of appreciated. Otherwise, you can also go like for a little bit more physical stuff and just put like more physical bulk, and that's also fine, but to each their own. You will get some value out of it because, you know, just think about like the mirror matchup with Shadow Ball, or even knockoff from Tyranitar. You know, you do need a lot more investment, by the way, for that. Just to show you, it's going to be about this much. You need about 52 and yeah, about that much. So, you know, that if you want to go with that route, you can definitely consider that. Or you can also just try and live the Terra Dark Sneezer Throat Chop. So you can also do it that way. But either way, I did like having a lot of damage on our Gholdengo here. So I just went for that. And, you know, I just dumped the rest into my leftover bulk here. Dragonite. So another one where, again, we're going Adamant Nature. I just went with this much HP investment. Again, for the sand chip damage, you can just do it like this. Or you can just go to 175. Okay, and then have a ton of HP. Ton of speed, I should say. You know, just go like 4-4. And just try and make sure you have like a very speedy D-Knight. You know, 123 speed investment's already like pretty good. But I did want to at least max my attack here because, you know, I don't have the band. So I want to get as much value as I can with the attack stat. So I just maxed this attack. And enough speed. You know, 120 is all you really need, technically speaking, you know, just because you do have Tailwind stuff. But I wanted to just put a little bit more for some speed creeping purposes and just go in this way. But I can also just drop this to 122 and then just put 1 point here in the Assault Vest set, just so that I have a nice solid even number at the end of the day. So that's really all I did with Dragonite. So this was it. This is the squad. And yeah, it was working pretty good when I was testing it. So, you know, I will say originally, when I do show you the test games, I was experimenting with Tyranitar here, and I was doing like Sandville Garchomp stuff. But there were some a lot of games, you know, I just really wasn't per se bringing it, and I didn't want to like have two dark types per se. So I decided to, you know, kick T-Tar to the curb, keep the Samurott, and just add the Dragonite here, and it was working, you know, just fine. I was bringing Dragonite much more than I was Tyranitar because Dragonite is good. Okay, so let me show you some test games, and let me just show you how the team plays a little bit, and then we'll do a little bit of a recap. All right, so this is one of those games where I was still testing Tyranitar, but again, I did not necessarily bring it. So he's got typical Archaludon Mousehold beat up stuff ideas. He's got a Tailwind user with the Murkrow, and probably Rain Dance there to try and enable the Archaludon. He's got Sneasel there with the Rillaboom and Gholdengo. So pretty cool team, I would say. But I still think we have all the tools that we need on our side. So I'm going to go Talonflame, Garchomp here to start off strong. He's going to go Mousehold, Archaludon there. So that makes me think beat up stuff. But he looks a little scared. He's just going to go Rillaboom, trying to weaken the Earthquake stuff. I want to taunt the Mousehold. I don't want that thing clicking, you know, follow me stuff. And I just want to deal some chip damage into Mousehold overall. But it is the Mousehold population set there. This is the most recent development with Mousehold. But again, it's an old Regulation A stuff. So I don't get to get my Tailwind off, but that's still fine because now I can go into Gholdengo. He can't really hit me per se. No fake out, no population bomb. So this is a free nasty plot essentially. I thought he might try the population stuff into the Garchomp, but he just wanted to fake it out. So that's a free nasty plot for me. All right. And now this is where the Sneasel goes into Terra Dark. Now, we do live because we have a lot of bulk on our Gholdengo, so that's nice. I just wanted to do some chip damage with the Stomping Tantrum, and now this is an easy make it rain. We outspeed the Rillaboom, which is kind of funny. All right, that's a slow Rillaboom. I don't think Rillaboom should ever be that slow for it. I think you always want to outspeed Blood Moon. Anyway, so now he has Archaludon here. There's the Mousehold. And now he's kind of cooked here because all we have to do is just take out this Mousehold. And we can Shadow Ball from here, but, you know, just in case he wants to do some other stuff, I just went and make it rain. That's still a lot of damage, you know, with just one single target move there. He has, you know, the stamina stuff. But again, now we can just bring in the Samurott and just close things out here. Garchomp also doing very well on something like this. So, you know, the grassy terrain just doesn't matter. But I just go Stomping Tantrum there, and then we go Sacred Sword there, and we pretty much just beat the Archaludon. So not enough support for it, and, you know, this is very good for us because we put on a lot of pressure early on. He just couldn't really match it. All right, this is Flamigo stuff with the sand ideas with Como, so that's probably like Overcoat. There's the Primarina and Rillaboom yet again. No Gholdengo, so that's also fine. But Samurott looks pretty good into a lot of what he has. All you have to really watch out for is the Primarina, I would say. I'm not really worried about Rillaboom all that much. We have enough. So I kind of want to just start off like that. So here comes Excadrill and here comes T-Tar. He's going with the sand ideas. I'm going to go with Talonflame yet again. I'm going to go Samurott here and bring Gholdengo and Garchomp in the back. So I just want a Tailwind there. He goes for Rock Slide. He misses the Talonflame, which is kind of good. And then I just go Aqua Cutter into the Excadrill and just remove it. Now the T-Tar stays unterred. He goes for Low Kick, beats the Samurott. That's okay. So we make some trades 1-for-1. But now who comes in? It's Como. And now I go into Garchomp here. Right? So I have the speed. I don't want this combo to set up. I do have to take somewhat of a risk. If he wants to go for the Draco Meteor stuff, but he doesn't have it, and I know that. So, you know, it was the Iron Defense anyway. But now he connects on the Talonflame. Okay, but this set won't win because, again, he does not have the Dragon move on him. So now we just Dragon Claw the Como. Very bulky Como set, you know, even for Life Orb Chomp. But again, Make It Rain on their Tailwind just does so much. And now it's basically a 2-on-1. You can't really beat us anymore. We still have one more turn to Tailwind. There's the Prim. So all we have to do is just protect Chomp for this turn. Just try and get up another nasty Plight. He can't beat the Gholdengo at this point. And even if he did click Hyper Voice, it's not enough. He doesn't outspeed. Because here we go. Terra Steel Garchomp for this reason. Just does what it needs to do. And then we just Shadow Ball this and, you know, Primarina just goes splat because Prim is very, very slow anyway. Alright, so this is like some Torkoal stuff. Again, it looks like Final Gambit Annihilate, and then looks like Drifloon there. I don't know what that Drifloon is supposed to do. Maybe it's Unburden with the Indeedee, I would imagine. But an interesting team. I respect it. So there's the Drifloon. There's the Armarouge. Makes me think there's Indeedee in the back to give this thing Unburdened. And then from there, who knows? But I want to go Gholdengo early on just for aggression and to not get slept by the Lilligant. So there's the Unburdened. So he goes Tailwind. I went for Taunt, which is still okay into an Indeedee. And then there's Shadow Ball doing a lot of damage into Drifloon, right? So that's good. Then I just go for my own Tailwind, and he goes Shadow Ball into my Talonflame, but not Gholdengo. But I go for a free nasty plot because I know that Indeedee can't really do a whole lot here. So this is fine. I still want to preserve my Talonflame, so I'm going to go into Samurott now, just in case he wants to go for the Shadow Ball into the Talonflame yet again. Goes into the Gholdengo this time, but this is still free Make It Rain damage. So even though I do call the Shadow Ball wrong, I'm still able to survive and still get the KOs on what I need. So now here comes Torkoal. There's the Armarouge. We have the speed advantage. Again, he goes to... Oh, he's the Endure set, right? So, Ceaseless Edge, okay, does a lot of damage. And, you know, it's the weak armor stuff. And now, things get interesting, right? Because he was the Endure set. So, that's pretty funny. Best of one, close team sheets. Eruption, obviously, will take out Gholdengo. But at the same time, we still have more than enough what we have in the back. Because now here comes Talonflame. And just Brave Bird into the Armarouge. Very easy, right? Because now it's just a 3-on-1. And we just Aqua Cutter the Torkoal. And he can't really do a whole lot anymore, right? Eruption still does a lot in the sun. Even though I resist everything. Makes me think he's like Specs or something. But now we just bring in Garchomp. And then he has no choice but to click Forfeit. Because Garchomp just wins from here. Alright, so this one is just a couple games with the Dragonite team. In place of the Tyranitar, but again, more or less the same way in how it plays. We're going to start yet again with a Talonflame Tailwind idea with Garchomp, get some aggression with the Earthquake stuff. Here's Mienshao Serena. So I do get this wrong. I thought he would probably switch, but he does not. So, you know, it's fine. It doesn't really punish me. I get off an Earthquake into Mienshao, but Serena does have the Ice Coverage move, as they always do. So I still get some decent chip into the Serena here, but I do lose my Garchomp. But again, it's still fine. Even though I do get that turn wrong. Here comes Samurott. So I'm going to go Terra Poison here. I just want to go off with my Tailwind now, just in case I lose the Talonflame here. But I do get to remove the Serena, and the close combat, of course, will not KO my Samurott. I do have the Terra Poison ability. And look at this. Now the Sash gets broken on the Sableye potentially, right? So I don't have to worry about that. More Ceaseless Edge, chip damage coming out. There's Reflect, but again, Ceaseless Edge giving me some good value. And now look how much damage the Annihilate takes just from the spike. So that's pretty good. So there's the Protect. I just wanted to like burn it and let my Dragonite finish things off in the back. But I'm just going for the crits on the Sableye at this point past the screens. He goes for Knockoff. Again, I'm a Sash set. Encore again. This time I missed the Wisp. So That's unfortunate for me, but I do get to remove the Sableye, which is all I really cared about. And now my Samurott does go down. But this is fine because I still have Dragonite coming in here. And I can still burn the Annihilape, which I do. Alright, but he's Lumberry. Oh my goodness, he's stealing the Clover set there. And he crits me too. So, I thought he would Terra Water at this point, but he did not. Now I land the Will-O-Wisp. And now I'm just clicking whatever I want. Because again, I do have a Assault Vest here. But I'm doing so much damage already. And he's burned. And Talonflame still has the Brave Bird idea. But now he goes Terra Water. But at this point, he just dies because, you know, he's taken so much chip already. And he just dies to his own burn chip. So Talonflame able to clutch this one out after some early aggression from our other options. Alright, so this is one of those Sneasel balance stuff with the Clefable Kingambit. So something like Amoongus can really come in handy here, especially in front of the Kingambit, just to make sure he does not get to click Sucker Punch on my Gholdengo. Because Gholdengo goes crazy here if I just set up the Nasty Plot. Okay, I know there's a Volcarona there, but we have more than enough for Volcarona. Alright, so that being said, here's Amoongus, and here is my Gholdengo. I do have a Talonflame in the back, by the way. So there's Rillaboom and there's Sneasel here. So this is actually really fine. This is a free Nasty Plot, because he can't really click a fighting move into a Ghost type. Can't really fake out my Gholdengo. He Swords Dances, so that's a little scary, but again, still fine, because I can still redirect and still put on Spore Pressure. Okay, and there's the Dire Claw. Does not KO. We do have some good bulk on our Amoongus. And then here's Make It Rain. And it just removes the Sneasel completely. The Rillaboom is AV, so he does get to live. It's U-turn. You know, it goes into his Clefable, which again was I thought he would lead, so we get to Spore that at the end of the day. And he just goes into Kingambit. You just always force this pin, right? Terra Dark, it's still fine. That's worse actually, because now you don't resist the Make It Rain. Sucker Punch obviously fails. I don't know why you would try that in front of an Amoongus. But look at all that damage. It's over at this point, right? It's just a 4-on-1 now. And he can't really do a whole lot here because we always have this pin on the Kingambit. Alright, so there's the squad one more time. So give it a go and let us know how you do. You know, I don't know if I can really make a Renzo out of this, so someone else is going to have to do it. By the way, I do know that Marco Fierro, he's playing the Global Challenge with this 6, but I think he has some different sets. But again, it just goes to show you that it does work. It's basically the Dragonite in place of the Blood Moon or Ursaluna. I feel like you get a little bit more value with Dragonite on this particular team than the Blood Moon or Ursaluna. Because again, we do have a Garchomp at the end of the day for our ground type coverage. You know, just swapping into potential electric type damage, but there's not a lot of electric types anyway. But Dragonite having some good variants here on a team like this, as well as Gholdengo and just Talonflame aggression early on is really nice. So overall, the team is solid. Samurott can't come to every game, obviously, but the games that it does come, it does do the job that it's supposed to do, especially with this Focus Sash set. You can potentially just set up your hazards for at least one turn if you do have to do it. Okay, so let us know what you think of the Hisuian Samurott, but we'll be back with another video in the next one. And if you do need coaching and if you need a little bit of help team building, make sure you sign up for Tier 3 on the channel. It gets you a one-on-one Discord session with me where we can build a squad from scratch just like this. We get to hash out the EVs, the Terra types and whatnot, test the team out a little bit. So if you got a local coming up, or if you've got, you know, some kind of regional that you're trying to prepare for next month, ideally, make sure you sign up and we'll get you the team that you need. So this way you can be successful, right? We've helped a lot of people thus far. People are getting CP with our teams. People are top cutting tours. So we hope to keep that going throughout the regulation. All right, but we'll be back with another video in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.